A Wet Dog by Midnight Burn. The nightclub was busy to the sound of the tattooed blondes. Lasers shot in all directions, and Chloe looked around for her late companion. "Tia!" she called to a young girl dressed in sombre clothes. The girl came over to her. "It is Tia, right?" The sad-looking girl nodded. "You look different from your profile picture," she said. "It's the lighting in here, I think, but the picture was taken last year," said Chloe, kissing the girl on the cheek. "I really must update it," she continued. There was a strange wet dog smell about the girl. She tried to ignore the pungent aroma and guided her further into the nightclub with an arm around her waist. "I'm so glad you made it. Thought you'd bailed at me at the last minute." Tia attempted a smile, but it wasn't convincing. The two then made for the bar, where Chloe bought them drinks. "It's really noisy here. Can we go somewhere quiet?" asked Tia. And Chloe found a secluded corner where the acoustics were better and the bass not so intense on her ribcage. "I really thought you'd taken up your landlord's offer for a moment," said Chloe in the alcove. "I was worried about you. Nearly paid a call to your flat." A strobe light caught Tia in the eye and her pupils contracted. She blinked several times to see Chloe in the darkened corner. "I wasn't sure if I was coming in," she said, "so I waited outside for a while. I don't like crowds." "Do you always take your depressive clients out clubbing?" she asked. "Does that work?" Chloe laughed. "No, I don't. You're a special case." "Are you gay?" asked Tia. "If you are, I'm really not sure about this. I've never—" "Relax, will you?" interrupted Chloe with a friendly tap on her arm. "I'm not gay, nothing like that. Since I started work at the University Depression Hotline, I've helped a lot of girls like you. I've suffered from depression myself before, so I know how you're feeling and the kind of things that worked for me." "Okay, so art didn't work for you, and the beach walks didn't work either. So I thought it was time to meet in person and try something a bit different. A night out. And because your pervert landlord, Mr. Doherty, was trying to get into your bed tonight, I thought it best to get you out of that place for the evening at least. Tomorrow we can find you an easy part-time job, so you can catch up with your rent and pay him in money instead of the way Doherty wants." "You're probably right," said Tia. "Besides, he's really old, like 40 or something." "Exactly," said Chloe. "So you need to find another way to make up the shortfall in your rent. I have a plan for you there also. Tomorrow I'll take you out to find you a part-time job you can do." "No waitressing," said Tia. "I really don't want to do that. I don't like noisy places with lots of people. Pots and pans banging and stuff like that." "No waitressing, I promise," said Chloe. "I know this mystical shop, nice and quiet. They sell black candles and stuff like that. The owner is looking for a girl to help out on Saturdays, and I think you'll be perfect. The money will keep your creepy old landlord at bay also." Chloe got her phone from her bag and lined up a selfie shot. "What are you doing?" No photos," said Tia. "I don't photograph well. I hate photos of me." "Why on earth not?" said Chloe. "You're a pretty girl. I thought it would be nice to have a photo of the two of us. I can update my profile picture too. You can be on it if you like. Wouldn't you like that? You've made a new friend after all." After a little more coaxing, Tia relented and Chloe arranged the shot. She snapped the photo and the flash fired. "There, you see? You can put it on Facebook if you like," said Chloe, and she thumbed through her phone gallery to find it. "Being seen out with one of the seniors on campus will boost your profile," she said, smiling. Chloe examined the photo and bunched up together in the shot with the two of them. The flash had cast their shadows against the wall behind. Chloe zoomed in until the picture showed them arm in arm in a classic profile shot. She noticed the shadow behind Tia looked odd and zoomed in further to examine it. "Weird," she said. An optical illusion. We might have to take it again." "Why?" asked a nervous Tia. "I told you my photos never come out well. What can you see? What is it?" She looked at the photo as Chloe held it out. Just behind the two girls were their shadows, cast against the speckled brick of the wall. Chloe's shadow looked normal, but Tia's was frightening. A looming and creature-like shadow. It was hunched over, as if set to envelop her. It looked like a big black dog right behind her, hovering over her shoulder with staring red eyes. The eyes, Chloe determined, may have just been red stones in the brickwork, glinting back the bounce flash. But they did indeed look like glaring red eyes. The dog's shadow had big pointed ears, as a hound has when hunting, and its shadow mouth hung open as if about to take a big bite out of Tia's neck. What looked like black shadow saliva seemed to drip from its open jaws. It had a hanging paw that extended unshadow-like in 3 dimensions over Tia's shoulder. The skin of Tia's neck even appeared darker where its paw hung over her, as if it was another person leaning into the photo with her hand over her. The menacing black shadow looked as if it was a third member of their group, trying to get in on the photo. After studying it for a few moments, Tia, wide-eyed, exclaimed in fear, "Oh!" and dropped Chloe's phone to the floor. Chloe dived under the table as it bounced on the carpet. "No harm done," she pronounced as she caught it before it hit again, running her fingers over the screen, checking for scratches. When she came back up, Tia had gone. Chloe just caught sight of her as she ran along the metal gangwalk to the exit. The following afternoon in the mystical gem shop, Chloe looked out of the window, checking for the girl. I did text her, and she said she'd be here. Amy, the shop owner, studied the photograph on Chloe's phone. "I've heard of this, but never actually seen it before. You've got an amazing photo here," she said. "I never would have believed it," said Chloe. "I thought it was just an expression. The black dog. You hear of it when they talk about depression, but you don't actually think these things could exist." "Sometimes depression is just depression," said Amy in her flowing purple gown. "Sometimes it's something much darker." "It could just be a trick of the light, but it looks so real," said Chloe. "Do you think you can do anything for her?" "Yes, I may be able to. It might work," said Amy. "We'll see." "Yes, I think I see her," said Chloe, and she left the shop, walking across the mall courtyard to a pillar outside the jewellery shop. There behind it was Tia. She'd been watching the shop from across the way. Taking the girl by the hand, she led her back to the shop, and soon Tia was made to feel comfortable in the company of Amy. The two spent some time talking about crystals, candles, and aromatherapy, and when the shop owner was happy with her, she suggested Tia come to work for her. "There's one other thing I would like to show you before you go," said Amy to Tia. The woman went to a bookcase and found an old leather-bound book with Cyrillic writing on the cover. A page was marked with an ornate purple bookmark hanging from it. She brought the book back to the table where Tia and Chloe sat and opened it at the page marked. The page was written in old indecipherable script, and on the flyleaf was a lithograph plate drawing in black and white. It showed a man carrying a dog on his back. The dog was long-haired and black like a wolf, with wild staring eyes and a thirsty tongue that hung long, dripping with saliva. The man was struggling to walk with the hound hanging from him heavily. Tia gasped. "It looks like my photo." Chloe patted Tia's hand to comfort her. "This book was written in Russia in 1799, said Amy. "When you translate it, it tells of an unknown malady affecting the mood. The illness sapped the strength and willpower of the sufferer, making them find no joy in anything they do. They even avoided doing good things, like listening to a concert or wearing mood-improving bright clothes, or spending time with loved ones. Nothing they did brought them pleasure. They even sought out misery, going to the cemetery or thinking terrible things, lonely things. Sufferers said it was like carrying a big black dog around with them on their back. This is what they used to think depression was, Tia." "But how do I get rid of it?" begged Tia, and Amy took out a necklace. The chain looked like silver and had a bulbous locket round, like a small marble, also made of silver. The locket was meshed, and thus porous with something inside that smelled pungent. She waved it in the air near Tia's nose, and a strong smell of lemons wafted in her face. "It's a form of citrus called bergamot," said Amy. "It's recommended in the book that you wear this all the time from now on. It's an ancient remedy to warn off the misery of the black dog." "Are you sure it can work?" asked Chloe. "I looked it up," said Amy. "The remedy may be old, but it makes sense. Dogs hate the smell of citrus, be it lemons or oranges. They stay clear of the smell. The book also says the black dog is afraid of loud noises, bangs and crashes, like lightning or fireworks." "Or loud music?" said Tia. "Yes," said Amy. "That's probably why you felt uncomfortable in the nightclub, and the dog showed itself in your photo. It was agitated. The black dog digs its claws into you, making you feel uncomfortable when you do things or go to places that should actually make you feel better. Yet doing these things can help drive the dog off and away from you." Amy put the necklace over Tia's head and nestled it between her breasts. "Where will it go?" asked Chloe. "What will happen to the dog when it leaves?" "Unfortunately, it will find some other poor soul to plague," said Amy. "But at least it will be gone from you." Tia went off with her necklace and was soon lost in the crowd of the shopping mall. Chloe never heard from her that week, and when Thursday night came around and her shift on the depression hotline, she got in early. Sitting with her headphones on, manning the phones, she waited for a regular 9 p.m. call from Tia. The phone rang, and Chloe instantly picked up the receiver. "Hello?" came a despondent voice. She'd heard the voice before but couldn't place it. It was the same sombre tone, but it wasn't Tia. It was a new caller. This was a man. "Welcome to the depression hotline. How can I help you?" said Chloe. "I don't know why I'm feeling so low," said the voice. "I've never felt so depressed in all my life. I don't know what's happening to me. I don't feel like doing anything anymore. Nothing brings me joy. You were recommended to me by a girl called Tia. She said you helped her. I'm her landlord."